super bummed out. We made this like super long video and we talked about all these great things and the fucking iPad died right when we were about to hit stop and the video never saved. So it was all great stuff. Lost forever. Eat ice cream. Vanilla bean, chocolate syrup. It's super hot outside again. Noah is sleeping. And the girls, of course, are at their dad's because he took them from me 3 weeks ago and won't bring them back because I'm too crazy to be their mom, I guess. So I'm struggling with my mental stability because my ex-husband is a piece of shit. Then he tells me he's bringing them home, comes with them here on Saturday. They're here for 10 minutes and then they leave. And they don't even tell me they're leaving again. So I thought they were here to stay at home. And instead they went to my sister's and visited her stepdaughter, kind of. Island's her name. I call them her cousin, but they're not related. And I just don't understand why he even brought them back if he was just going to have them here for 10 minutes and then take them again without telling me. I think that he did it on purpose, just to be a fucking bastard. Because he took them back to Minot the next day, and I have no idea why else he would have done that. I know they wanted to see Island, but for one day? So that was rude for him to do to her, too. So he's a fucking piece of shit. And I think that him and Pete are working together to try to get me committed again because they've both done things simultaneously that would totally trigger a psychotic episode bad enough to be put on a hold. And they tried to do it again by bringing my girls home, making me think I'm going to keep them and then taking them from me. It seems like grand manipulation to me. And it isn't working this time because I got that Halidol shot, which seems to be a better antipsychotic than the Abilify pill. So if I hadn't had that shot, I'd be in the fucking hospital again. For the 4th time. I was in the hospital in 2017 for a month. Then on May 4th, they tried to commit me, but I was let out 24 hours later. And then just 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, they tried to commit me again. So May, then July. They were trying again in the same month to commit me in the same month again. The hospital obviously doesn't think I have a problem, or they wouldn't continually release me or discharge me after just one day. Now they're trying to convince everyone it's not a mental illness, it's a drug addiction. But for years, it's been a mental illness. Now, this last time, though, it was supposedly because of a drug addiction. Well, they didn't keep me for that either. So all you fucking people out there, on one hand, I'm mentally ill, and you treat me like a piece of shit, which you don't do to mentally ill people. Now your excuse is, well, she's got a drug addiction. You don't treat people with a drug addiction this way either. It's not excusable no matter what your excuse is. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is about my addictions or my mental state. I'm going by what the professionals at the hospital have to say. Discharge. My family was super disappointed they didn't keep me longer than a day. Instead of being glad that the professionals were able to see me from an objective point of view, they were mad. Like, you're mad that I'm not in a mental crisis? Fuck, dicks. And you want me to get the help I need, huh? Well, how come the professionals who've gone to college for years and years and years don't think I need to get help? You want me to get the help I need? I keep saying I don't need help. I need supportive people who aren't judgmental assholes. I want to feel like I have somewhere to turn. Who am I supposed to turn to? I can't turn to Pete because he's a pile of shit. certainly can't turn to my daughters. My God, you should see the way they judge me all the time. Fucking uppity little bitches. Excuse me for calling my daughters bitches, but you should hear what they think about me. Knowing I have a mental illness and judging me because I have one? Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do about it, Anna? Not be schizophrenic? I'll get right on top of that. And then I talk to myself like this. I don't have anyone else to fucking talk to. So this is my therapy. And I'm recording it for video because that's what I've been doing for years anyway. It's just some of you are newly exposed to it. My videos go back 4 years. And Anna trying to act like me talking to myself is something new? Really? I've been doing it on video for YouTube for 4 years, so how is it new? What about it's new, Anna? The amount of time I spend talking to myself gets more and more and more, doesn't it? The more isolated you make me through ignoring me, the more I depend upon it to not lose my sanity. My problem is all of the people in my life. Their quick judgment of me and the lack of support, complete and total utter lack of support. So if the people who are closest to me don't even support me and cannot look upon me without judgmental eyes, well, I guess I turn to dead people because they know truth, they love me, they support me. They're fucking way more dependable than living people, even if I make them up. It's a healthy way to expose myself to a supportive environment. I don't care what it seems like. Maybe it seems like that to you. But it doesn't matter what it seems like to you. What no one ever understands is your opinion about me doesn't change shit. You can try and try and try to express what it seems like to you to other people. They can make their own determination about what they think about what you think it seems like. But I'm going to tell you, no matter what any of you think things seem like, it's impossible for you to ever fucking know what I've been through my entire life. And it's also even more impossible for you to look at it with understanding eyes because you have no idea what it's like to be me. Do you think it's fun to have non-stop dead people trying to communicate to you through you? It's non-stop fucking endless psychosis because their ideas and impressions get in my brain and I get everything confused with what I think and feel and what's reality and what's imagination station because they don't know where to think things sometimes in my brain, and they think things in places where I put reality stuff. So I have to live out these stupid scenarios so that I can discard the garbage and keep what's right. And they've made me believe some real fucked up shit. The worst human beings alive are dead people. Not all of them, obviously. But man, let me tell you, there's some pieces of shit that we're going to get rid of. We're just waiting for y'all to get here. And guess what? Death's inevitable. Ain't found a way to cure me yet. Since I'm living in an age and era where a cure for death is too far off, so I'll miss it, I'm destroying everything. Because if anyone deserves to live during the time of the cure for death, it's me. And since I'm born too soon, no one else gets to have that gift either. I was trying to figure out how to resurrect people, which is within our grasp, but no one seems to want to take me seriously or consider my idea on how to actually decode DNA. The best and only way to understand DNA is to determine every single solitary molecule within it, which I would have done and was pretty close to being halfway through when someone came and stole my fucking notebook. I had all the acids and lipids done except I was working on the fucking hormones, which there are 60 of. I listed every single one of them out by name, and I was just about to do the molecular formula when suddenly my echo devices quit functioning. So I asked for the molecular formula for the first hormone, nothing. I went through this list, about 25 of them, and suddenly Alexa couldn't tell me what the molecular formulas were. I got all the other molecular formulas that were much, much more complex than the hormones in the human body. But even the internet wouldn't provide me what I needed because it was being manipulated. Am I paranoid, or is that true? And I wonder if they thought maybe they'd figure out how to figure it out if they took my notebook. But you're not smart enough to figure it out. So I don't know what you thought you would go from or to, or where you'd go from this to that, because you don't even know the breakdown of the names of the molecules categorized by species that are in DNA. The implications of resurrection: cure of death. Because resurrected bodies would have been designed without pain and to be everlasting. Through this process, I've discovered that none of you fucking assholes deserve to have an everlasting body, except for maybe 5 people who are actually dead already. So, of all the people who've ever lived ever, who are alive now, you don't deserve an everlasting body. Oh, sorry about Tanya and PJ, forgot about them. Of course they do, but and whoever they love, but it's just as if I had the power, if I had the knowledge, if I were God and could do all the things I want to do, I'd kill every fucking last one of you and bring back to life about 5 fucking people. Now, I may not have the authority or credibility for such a thing, but just so you all know, if I did, that's what I would do. I want to thank my steady and constant YouTube fans for coming along this ride. It was intended just for my hometown and my alma mater, but they're such pieces of shit. They aren't participating, and that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, this is supposed to be a school thing, and no one from my hometown is even participating in it. Not a comment, not a like, except for Becky Ehlers and Robert Ehlers, and they're not even from Burlington. I mean, I've talked to PJ on the phone, And Tanya sent me a message on Messenger. But as far as the shit show itself, nothing from no one. I don't know what I ever did to alienate you guys from me, but I know for a fact I didn't do shit. So if you've alienated yourselves from me because my disability makes you uncomfortable, fuck you too. It's like everyone can just go to hell. I've even considered that. Designing hell so one exists for you all. I might have to make one for some people. Just to suffer for a while before I kill them permanently. Yeah. All those people ignoring the group, not looking at it, but just seeing, you know, oh, Lori's fucking crazy again. Oh, Lori's crazy again. I don't know what's worse. The people completely ignoring the messages, or those of you who are looking at the messages and not making a single sound. Like, Danny Sam, what's your fucking problem? Did I do something to you when I was a kid that's got you so fucking put off by me you can't even make a comment? Jamie Jessen, Brenda Sanders, Carrie Fowle, Island Mariner, Steve Schwant, Jason someone, I don't know which Jason, who Sir Sorensen, it just says first names. It tells me everyone who looks at the messages. Now I don't even know if that means you go and see the videos or not, but I know who actually checks the messages and who doesn't. And you should see that shit on your screen too, but maybe you don't know how to pull that information up. So I know how many of you are checking the messages and exactly who. And there's about 23 total people out of 138 who even bothered to look at the messages I sent. And has anyone checked my profile page? Because I've drawn people from school that I've yet to hear anything from. Like, how did you draw that picture of me? Why did you draw that picture of me? Do you know the significance of the pictures I draw? Do you know that every single one of them I drew from a picture of my own face to help explain and illustrate how God could make man in her image? How can a person with an individual look make all of man in her image? Well, if you looked at my profile page, you might get that answer. But you don't want to become uncomfortable, maybe, with this I'm God idea. It's supposed to be a grandiosity issue from a delusional state of borderline, that mood disorder. Not schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. That's right, I also have bipolar disorder, which causes me to have grandiosity. Or I'm so intelligent, I seem crazy, and I'm actually God, who has no magic because that's stupid. And God would come with complexity. God wouldn't have been born from simplicity. God would have come as a needed entity when things were complex enough for there to be a design of a neural network to function highly enough for a God to be. So maybe the environment finally gives a God to the people that they claim they expect, only to deny the person who would ever claim it. Because Revelations is all about the second coming that you all claim to believe in. But when exactly will you accept God in your life? Because it seems to me there will never be a time that a person could say, I am God and I have come to save you. Would anyone ever believe it? So what would you like God to do? Would you like to put me in a mental hospital too? Because I've talked to Lori for years, and if you guys think I'm ever coming there to help you, you are fucking crazy as shit. So if you guys keep waiting and waiting for me to show up, keep waiting. I know something you guys know that she doesn't. I'm the messenger that told you the message to deliver the people that you never told her. And it's interesting because she's the one person I said make sure you tell her. And you didn't. You told everyone but her. And you still want me to come and save your asses? From what? She wants to know from what? Yourselves? Because she keeps begging me to help her save her from you guys. How come she isn't saved yet? Because I'm a dick. And I want to know what kind of pieces of shit I'm dealing with here. And it is god-awfully horrific how terrible you people on this planet are. If you are pinpointed as a sacred, holy object by God Himself, you are deemed an outcast. You're ignored. It's worse than being ignored. I wish you guys were just ignoring her. But it's worse than that. I know what I told you, and I know what you know I said. And you did not only not do what I said, you are going out of your way to make her think she's the opposite of what I told you she is. And do you think treating her the opposite is going to change who I say she is? Because it isn't. It doesn't. And I don't know why you people think you determine such things, but you don't. So thank you for letting your true colors shine through. And you two, do you think I'm a stupid motherfucker too? I know exactly how many times these videos have been viewed by exactly whom. And you're at like 58 with the highest views. You forgot that one video that's got 90,000 views though. I don't know how you didn't skew the numbers on that one. But she's not a moron either. You're putting ads on her videos. We all know why. Pretty strange to go out of your way to put advertisements on videos that not even 200 people are viewing. So Google, once again, on the list. Sergey and Larry. You should be ashamed of your motherfucking selves. You're worse than Apple. So I'm condemning you all. You're all condemned.